You're listening to the Live Free podcast. I'm your host, Christine, certified life coach, pain to power mentor, and creator of Embody You Mindset Mastery School. I'm here today to discuss living life after disease, disaster, or adversity, to discuss living life fully once again, a life of hope, peace, and resiliency, a life fully embodied. I utilize the lessons that I learned going through not one, but two primary cancers. I'm here today to guide you to the life of your dreams, turn your pain into power, and lead you back to yourself. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Live Free podcast. I am wanting to talk a little bit today about imposter syndrome. And what does it mean? Where does it stem from? Imposter syndrome is when you set out to do something, you've made a decision, you're gonna, let's use my example. You're going to help women feel more embodied in themselves and explain their needs and become more clear and real in what it is that they need. So imposter syndrome is that little voice that says to you, you can't do this. You are not clear enough, you're not educated enough, you don't have it all put together. And first and foremost, and the biggest issue is if you're going to help other people communicate their needs, then you should be perfect at it. And imposter syndrome threatens to slow you down, stop you, and just absorb it all together, make it go away so that you're no longer in a place of discomfort. And we'll get to that later, kind of, whether there's any value in it. But secondly, the reason that imposter syndrome shows up is because of ego. Now, my disclaimer is that I am not a non-ego person. Ego is important and it is necessary. It is what keeps our 2 feet on the ground and keeps us from diving off of a bridge because we think that maybe we can fly. I love the ego, but we have to coexist with it. And we need to be able to find balance with it. But the ego is telling you to stay safe. That is the ego's job in every single way. It keeps you safe from jumping off that bridge. It keeps you safe from saying that really erratic thing at the meeting. It keeps you safe from diving into a course content and masterclass saying that you're going to help all these women and then failing. The ego is there to help you, to keep you safe. But the ego cannot differentiate between something that is going to create abundance for you, that is going to create abundance for other people, that is going to move the world forward in a positive way, and jumping off that bridge and dying. All it knows is that you are feeling discomfort, so it wants you to run hard and fast. And thank you to the ego, but it's not necessary. So in your life, there are places where you decided that you were going to show up in a big way, that you were going to burn brightly, that you were going to create radical change or help somebody or apply for a new job that required, you to really, really show up boldly or start singing or get up on stage and speak or something. You decided that you were going to do it and your ego just screamed at you, you can't do this. It is not safe. Run away. And in order to convince you of that, it's saying to you, you're not a good singer. You're not even really a great singer. If I were you, I wouldn't. You're going to get out there and people are going to boo you off the stage. It uses your insecurities to try to convince you not to jump off that bridge. So it's hard not to hate the ego. I get it because, throughout this entire process of me creating this course content and, really showing up for you guys in a way that is going to change your life and make these huge strides. All I can hear is my imposter syndrome and my ego saying, you are not educated enough. You are not good for this yet. You need to go back to school for psychology or something along those lines. And you're going to fail. And the fact of the matter is that, the ego does a really good job of discrediting what you have already to offer because it's trying to keep you safe. And is my ego correct? Let me just say this here. Is my ego correct in that I cannot offer to all of you women some amazing empowerment and lasting change? No, it is incorrect. I have plenty of life experience. I have plenty of education, and I'm going to rock it and you're going to love it. So let me just say that. But secondly, it's really difficult not to get stuck in this kind of shame loop with an ego. And it's really, really difficult not to have so much hatred towards it for constantly showing up. And coffee. And for that reason, you kind of get into like a little bit of like oh, I feel sad for myself, stupid ego. Oh, I feel sad for myself, stupid ego. And then, you're not really getting any further ahead, are you? So what's the solve for this? When you decide that you're going to show up big and your ego starts telling you, run, hide, put your seatbelt on, don't do this. Number one is recognizing it. Most of us are on autopilot. You feel discomfort and you go, oh, I don't like that. And then you step back, you step away, and you don't do it. And I get it because discomfort is uncomfortable. Every single time that I sit in front of my computer, especially doing email marketing, oh my God, email marketing is the worst. Someday I'm going to pay somebody to do that for me. I'm telling you now. But every single time that I sit down to my computer, all I can hear is like a shrill scream being like, get up, get out, get up, get out, get up, get out. You hate this. You don't understand it. Leave. And I don't know if you are tuning in September 2021, but right now, as I'm creating this course content, I am I have had the most uncomfortable week of my life. And I had cancer, so that's saying something. Facing the steep learning curve of all of this stuff that I don't like and is hard and is fearful. But I am aware enough to recognize that this is ego, that this is my body trying to keep me safe. And that as it's screaming, I just say thank you. Thank you to my ego for trying to keep me safe, because that is a vital importance. Thank you for keeping me safe, but I do not need you. You can go now. And I'm going to move into my higher faculties, the ones that tell me that I am aligned with my purpose, the ones that tell me that I am exactly where I need to be, the ones that tell me, yeah, email marketing sucks, but on the other side of all of this stuff that you're learning and the things that you hate with the coding and the technology and all of that, On the other side of all of this is going to be women who have found growth and lasting change, who will turn around and say to you, I feel whole. I feel better. I feel strong. So thank you, ego. But I'm good. I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to persevere. So for you, it's the exact same thing. When your ego tells you, you cannot become that position at work. You cannot speak your truth. You cannot get up on stage. Remember that that is a survival mechanism that is very useful in a lot of places, but not here. And then you just very gently say to yourself, shut up, ego. I love you. Thank you. I don't need you. And take another step forward. Chances are after that next step, it is going to show up again. And then just like you would with your teenager who is annoying the shit out of you, I love you. I trust you. I believe in you. But it's time for you to stop talking nonsense and just move on. Thank you. And it's the exact same thing here, guys. It really is. So the next time that discomfort comes into your life, know that it means that you are on the other side of a breakthrough. The next time that imposter syndrome tells you that you cannot be here and that you aren't enough for it, know that it means you are on the other side of a breakthrough. And I didn't understand that until now. What it means by you're on the other side of a breakthrough, it means that you have pressed yourself out of your comfort zone so far so that your survival mechanisms are trying to reel you back in. And what got you to where you are here today won't get you there where you'd like to be. So you have to stretch yourself. You have to press. You have to have that ego show up. And when the ego shows up telling you that you should dial back, that's when you know that you're stretched. That's your clear indicator that you are moving forward and that you are on the other side of growth and lasting change in some way, shape, or form. When I asked God, the universe, Allah, I don't really care, whatever fits for you. When I asked my version of universe for growth and lasting change in my life years ago, I asked to be closer to my purpose. And I was on the brink of moving into my job in a more long-lasting sort of way. I was looking at fertility and looking at pregnancy with my husband, and I asked the universe to be closer to my purpose in life. And not a year later, I got cancer. And at first I felt duped. You know, I asked the universe to be closer to my purpose, and here I am landing up with cancer. And I'm, it's all going to be for naught. I'll die anyway. Now, on the other side of cancer, number one, I didn't die. But second, I did not have my babies. And yeah, that hurt. But this involvement that this business has taken from me may not have been possible, not impossible, but may not have been easily possible with newborn babies. My conviction in myself has become stronger. so much stronger. And for that reason, I've decided that I want to create a business around helping women. I learned how to communicate my needs and how to embody who I was as a person because I had to. Because I couldn't do things, so I had to learn how to do that. And here we are on the other side of it. And I'm more aligned with my purpose than I've ever been. I asked to have growth, to connect. And here I am, more on the other side of growth and more connected than ever. I am so on fire and ready to help other people. And that would not have been possible without cancer. So when discomfort shows up for you and your voice tells you that you can't do this, because trust me, my voice told me I couldn't do this when I got cancer. Even speaking about it now, it makes me very emotional to think about how scared I was that I couldn't do it. And I did it. And now I'm doing it again. I'm facing discomfort again so that I can bring growth and lasting change for women. So when your discomfort shows up, know that you are on the other side of a breakthrough. That you just keep going and keep persevering. Because I promise you, it'll be worth it. So I'm going to go back to working before I start crying on a podcast. So you will see in the future, in the near future, if you're listening to this in real time, what projects I have for you. Because, oh man, are they going to be good. I'm so excited. We're starting with a masterclass, and that masterclass is free. From there, I will be unveiling some pretty cool projects that you're going to want to get in on. Especially, I hope that you are listening to this in real time, because if you are going to want to get in on this. It's going to be a one-time chance because it's new. So keep following, keep watching. And if this isn't real time, then you know already that I have been able to make some huge, huge changes and create some major shifts in women's lives, and that I've made a huge difference. And I am so excited that you are listening to this. And maybe it's months down the road, years down the road, and you're able to see that I was in this place of fear too. And that I am normal and human, just like everybody else. And that it is natural to feel fear. But then you got to do it anyway. So much love, you guys. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. If you found expansion with this last episode, then that means that others will too. And the best way to get the word out about the podcast is by leaving a review. I would be so grateful if you could leave me a review and let me know how you felt about the podcast. Included in the show notes will be everything that we talked about today, including all of my transformative programs. Change is just on the horizon, my friend.